When the 3D is opposite, you'll naturally feel collision from all ends. Like you want your SP to be a certain version and they are being another version of themselves. Like you want this and you're getting this. It's naturally going to cause trigger. It's naturally going to cause an energetic glitch. So you'll naturally feel resistance. So if this is your heart space, you are feeling a sense of stiffness, a collision sort of from all the possible ends, and you are feeling pressure. That why is my 3D acting this way? Why is my 3D opposite of what I want the 3D to look like? And this will cause a lot of stiffness. You will feel agitated, you will feel triggered, and that's because your core energy is feeling this pressure, is feeling this energy. And more you are getting angry, more this resistance is increasing. More you're getting triggered, more this resistance is increasing. And from this resistance, through the lens of this resistance in your heart center, you are looking at life. You are seeing life through this lens. You are looking at people, places, everything that's happening from this lens, that you are suffocating, you are in stiffness, and through that stiffness you are seeing what's happening. And that's naturally going to give you the lens of anger. That's naturally going to make you feel like you are triggered. That's naturally going to make you feel like you are suffering. But that is not set in stone. This is not what your life has to look like. Things can change when you change your lens, and for that your core frequency, which is based on anger, has to raise its frequency and vibration. The anger in you, in India we call manifestation Akarshan Shakti. So your ability to attract, increases when you do not have anger and fear. When you have anger and fear, you are giving your power away. How you're giving your power away is because you feel that stiffness, you feel that anger, you feel that agitation, that energy of anger. This resistance is percolating down to your other arteries, nerve vessels, which are also feeling this stiffness. So from your heart center, the stiffness is going to other parts of your body, other parts of your sensation, which are feeling clogged, which are feeling stiff, which are feeling like unmoved, which are feeling like I can't move. It's literally like choking and you can't take it anymore. And this is the energy that's just spreading this anger energy over all your energy field, and your entire vessel, your entire body is now catching the frequency of anger. It is becoming your core frequency, your core vibration is becoming anger. And along with anger, you naturally have fear and pain at the core. Anger is like a superficial layer, a coping mechanism that you put as a shield to hide other vulnerable emotions like fear and pain. So beneath anger, you are fearful that, oh, this opposite is happening. I don't have control over it. I want to change what's happening. So what's happening is scaring you. What's happening is getting on your nerves. And when something is scaring you, there's literally movements like this in your nervous system. Like you are scared, like your fear at the core is moving in this direction, your fear at the core is moving in that direction, your fear at the core is moving in that direction, and you're like all over the place. Your simulation is all over the place, and you are just leaking your energy out of anger. and fear, because the fear you have is making you literally shake. You are wavering at the core. This is your core vibration dwelling point, and that's literally wavering and trembling. And with each waver, you're getting into a wave. So the excess of anger, excess of fear based frequency is heightened beta. So when your beta is extremely active, you are literally feeling like anxious, raced up, and your alpha is also like catching up on what is your dominant in beta. If your beta is now dominant with excess of fear and you're trembling and shivering at the core, your alpha is going to pick up on that passive aggressive energy of beta, and that is going to be the core energy of your theta at the core, and percolate down to your unconscious or delta, and thereby impact your reality. And your gamma frequency will also be then motivated by the anger and fear frequency, and the theme of the gamma frequency will then become anger and fear. So if you're fearful, with more fear, you are telling yourself, yeah, I'm fearful, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, and you're just sharing your energy here and there. I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. And your energy is just going here and there. What if something wrong happens and you're just sending this signal all over your body and it's just clogging up? What if something wrong happens? And you're having this fear. And that's just leaking more energy, that's just creating more terrains, that's just creating more channels where you're like, what if something wrong happens? You're just holding this frequency in this simulation. You're like, what if that reality actually manifests where something goes wrong? Where if that reality actually shows up where actually something goes wrong? I'm so afraid, I'm so fearful. And this is naturally going to shrink you. That is actually going to make you feel like hide. And you don't want to show up. You don't want to express yourself. You don't want to move out of your shell. You don't want to come out of this trigger, because you're like, oh my god, this fear has power over me. But this fear is just energy that's just getting excess of cortisol energy stored, which is causing that stiffness and feeling that adrenaline rush, is making you feel like there's something that's just getting choked, which doesn't feel good. But that's your gut that is programmed against you, and that does not mean it is set in stone. It can change. So you can get into that energy of, I don't have to be fearful. Instead, you can be in the zone of that, all right, I have fear, but I understand that it's okay to let go of the fear and relax. So now you are giving signal to your core vibration that relax a little. So maybe you have 70% fear, but 30% relaxation now. And you're like, all right, I know that there's still more fear, there's still more anger, there's still more resistance and resentment, but I allow myself to let go of a little bit of resentment, forgive a little, so that I can relax. So now maybe you don't have that much of anger, excess of cortisol, your cortisol is reducing, you have increased serotonin, you have increased endorphins, and you're like feeling that transmutation process. You're like, enough is enough, I can't be here anymore, I need a way out of this, I am ready for a course shift, I'm ready for a course change, I'm ready for a new beginning. And that is where you come out of that clogged zone and push yourself out of zone of suffering to quantum jump your trajectory, bypassing mental health and your emotions, and trying to get into the zone of, oh, I'm so positive, my manifestation has come to me, will not really open doors for you, because you are literally ignoring your core center. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are at the core. So if your core dwelling state is fearful or angry, you will manifest a reality that is based on fear and anger. So your core vibration of fear and anger has to raise its frequency. When we talk about raising your frequency, it's in your heart center. your chest center, wherever your dwelling state is, you raise the frequency of your core dwelling state. If your core dwelling state is anger, you must rant, purge, crib, scribble, shout, yell, break, do whatever it may come to process your anger till you feel better, relaxed, and then you can move into, oh, I'm feeling better. It's just getting better. I can think more positive thoughts. It's naturally going to come. If you're fearful, your energy is literally trembling, your amygdala is literally shaking, and you're literally like with excess of cortisol, your like entire system is like filled with cortisol, and you're like, I can't take it anymore, I can't take it anymore, I can't take it anymore. And that fear will be here and there, getting into your other nerve cells, and you will have that neuropeptide soup, creating a literal hodgepodge within, and your energy periphery will literally be like making you shrink, making you hide. But that's excess of cortisol, adrenaline, that is causing that internal fatigue and tension and stiffness. And that fear is feeling like energy is leaking itself, energy is just moving away. But you can call your power back. When we say you call your power back, you can realize that all the fear that's spreading here and there and all the shaky sensation I feel, it's my amygdala shaking. It's not me, but my amygdala that is shaking. And it is because my amygdala is shaking, amygdala is scared, it's the threat center, it is feeling like something is wrong, something is out there to get me. And the limiting beliefs of something is out there to get you, something is wrong, starts to literally trap you. And you feel like, I don't have a way out, I don't have a way out, I don't have a way out. But that's not true, but that is your lens of fear. And that lens is seeing life through that it's not going to work out. So fear, whenever you have fear, it has certain set of thoughts. And whenever you have anger, it has certain set of thoughts like, oh, something is out there to get me, I'm not safe, someone is going to take away what's mine, I'm going to lose what's mine. That's fear talking. How dare they do this to me? I should have deserved better. How dare they do this? They will get their karma. How can they? That's anger talking. And then there is hope talking, that there is hope for me. Things can turn around for me. I can see shifts in my favor. I can turn around my destiny. I can write my destiny. There is love talking. Love will always find me. Love will always be there for me. So whatever it is your dwelling state, through that lens you are having POV. This is how life looks, and that becomes the theme of your life, and that is what gets manifested. So you attract who you are, not what you want. So in case you want what you want, you have to become a vibrational match to that you want. And in case you want to become a vibrational match to that you want, you have to change your dwelling state. A person who's married, who's your SP is loving you, caring for you, is romantic, is sweet to you, is obsessed with you, you are going to feel joyful, you are going to feel hopeful, you are going to feel happy, you are going to feel rejuvenated. And when you look at life through the lens of rejuvenation, you're like, wow, life is so refreshing, life is so soothing, life has always been amazing. Life just gives such a beautiful spring vibe all the time. Life is just so tranquil. Life just gives me that oceanic vibe, a sense of freshness, and I just feel so much of freshness in the auric field of life. I'm so mesmerized by life. But on the contrary, if you're like seeing life through the lens of devastation, you'll be like, life is so devastating, life is so torturous, life is so much full of pain, there is so much devastation in this life. And it will resonate because at the core you are devastated, you're resonating to devastation at the core, and you're seeing through that lens. So it is like resonating at the gut. You resonate to it at the core. It's feeling true at the core. So when you're seeing something through this lens, it's naturally going to feel like it's true, because you're seeing life through the lens of devastation. But that doesn't mean it's true, but it's the lens you're tapped into. So your core lens has to raise its vibrational point. Your core lens has to raise its frequency and vibration in case you want to change your outer circumstances. So your core lens, which is like devastator, has to understand that, all right, now I'm devastated, so purge, rant, cribble, like cry, yell, like don't just bypass your emotions. Just do whatever you want to do. Once you feel better and move from devastation to I feel hope, your vibration has increased compared to before. So when you are like, oh, I feel hope, but some parts of me is like, in devastation. So maybe 50% you have hope, 50% you have devastation. That's where you balance it. Like, that's where you purify your vibration. You purify your consciousness. You purify your dwelling state. Like, oh, I'm feeling devastated, somewhat hopeful. So I can be more hopeful. Things can turn out. So maybe you go at the core and you feel like what is holding you back in devastation might be anger. Like, you've been through a lot all your life. You just can't forgive. You just want to like yell the heck out because you've been through a lot and you really can't tolerate how you've been made to feel. You deserve justice. So you're looking for justice at the core. So give yourself that sense of justice. Maybe you're giving yourself that sense of justice and you're feeling like you should have got better. So you're feeling like you have received better. You have got justice. You're feeling that energy. And maybe that energy is coming up. That's where you want to experience more of that. You have received justice. You have received justice. Bask in that feeling of you have received justice. Feel like, destroying things and going to terrains in 5D, and you're like breaking stuff. You're like being a warrior. You're letting the warrior in your eyes. You're like rising like a warrior, like demolishing everything in the way. Maybe in 5D, you're in your Ma Kali enraging frequency. That's when you are cascading out the energy of wrath, energy of fury, and you're walking through it and neutralizing it. And then finally, maybe you reach a state which we in Hindi call tasalli. You reach satisfaction where you're like, finally, I feel more satisfied. Finally, I can forgive a little. So maybe right now you have 20% anger and 80% forgiveness, but then there's 20% anger which is still processing. So as you process and continue to purify your vibration, you're like, oh, I can hold more space for forgiveness. I have received justice. I am the one who's feeling that energy of I have received justice. I can let go of anger. I have been able to forgive. I am being able to hold more space for things are working out for me. I have received more justice. You're continuing to purify your vibration and hold more space. The number of times you affirm, that is the number of times you're continuing to purify this vibration and change it. It can go back to the dwelling state which is dormant. If the anger is more, obviously your dwelling state will go back to anger. If the joy is more, the joy will be your dwelling state. But it's on the spectrum of it. Like maybe you're on the spectrum of anger. Maybe you're on the spectrum of joy. Maybe you're neutral. And that's because you are still processing your feelings. You're processing to purify your core vibration and core frequency. And that's raising your core frequency and core vibration. That's changing the trajectory of your core dwelling state. And that in turn is impacting how you look at the world, the lens through which you see the world, and is impacting what you are observing and seeing in the physical reality, and is changing the trajectory of the circumstances for you, and is giving you a new version of reality that is in coherence to your core dwelling state or who you are. Thank you and love and light to you. Have a wonderful day ahead. If you would like to watch more such contents, let me know what kind of videos you would like me to make. Thank you. Have a wonderful day ahead.